watch lights off because we're coming home with a trophy.
Hey there, welcome to SharkCast, a podcast dedicated to the greatest sporting club in the history of the world, the mighty Cronulla Sharks. This short, sharp review is brought to you by Dyson Logistics, the Royal Motor Yacht Club in Port Hacking, and Jason Hawes at Cripps & Cripps Real Estate. My name is Sam Shinazzi, an OG from 2015, and nights like tonight are what make me a very happy podcaster. Before we get into the football, I want to send out love and empathy to anyone who was involved with the horrific incident that happened out at Bondi Junction today. Just absolutely nightmarish situation. Don't want to be a downer on the podcast, but we do need to address these things. Absolutely just sending our best to anyone who was involved with that. I have family and friends over there. It was just a nightmare to kind of even see those images come in. So first and foremost, just want to send my best out to anyone involved. Hopefully no one, but as a city, of course, we're all involved, and thankfully there was a game of football that we could throw ourselves into tonight and take our mind off what happened out there, and to segue into that as discreetly as I can. Sharks winning, thankfully, 34 points to 22 against the very brave and battered South Sydney. Now, all week long, Sharks fans were on edge, and I and a few other people I spoke to in my circle were pretty confident about this game, winning it, but we all understood the nerves and the likelihood that Souths would bounce back, and they did. They played pretty tough tonight. It'd be very interesting to see what would have happened if Souths had all 17 guys available. They were bruised and battered. They were losing players left, right, and centre in what was already a rookie-based team to an extent, but the Sharks did what they had to do. They went out there and played exactly how I wanted them to play. Tough, aggressive, and there was a lot of energy in that game from the Sharks, and they had to be energetic as much as they could. The Rabbitohs got back into it from time to time, trading tries, but overall, I didn't really feel like the game was ever in doubt, and it's all right for me to say that in hindsight, but that's genuinely how I felt watching the game tonight. This is not a Rabbitohs podcast, but you have to give them credit. They were absolutely under the pump for a few weeks now, but especially this week. And the coach may already be gone. We're not sure, but they battled hard, and it wasn't enough. And they had a lot of players out. They had players injured today during the game, but the Sharks were great. I thought the Sharks played a really strong, energetic game. I've seen some comments online already about people not being happy with the performance, and there's something missing. And some of these people are the same people who said we're going to get flogged during the week. So, I mean, it's hard to please people. They pleased me tonight. I thought it was a solid performance. They conceded 22 points against Souths, who were coming last, but Souths were always going to bounce back, and they did to an extent. And watch some of that first half in particular on-goal line defense. Just fantastic. Repeat sets, repelling them, and they cracked here and there, but I thought overall defensively, the Sharks were pretty good, especially where it mattered in their own 20-metre zone. The team running out was 1-13, but there was a change on the bench with Toby Rudolph coming in, which was great. He was under an injury cloud. He'd been out for a week or two or three at least, and he was back and came off the bench. Billy Burns, unfortunately for him, was pushed down to play New South Wales Cup in the game before for the Newtown Shark Jets. The Jets unfortunately lost in their game at Homebush, but there was a return of Braden Hamlin-Welly, first time since the end of last season, so it's been a long time since he's played NRL. They put him in to play for the Jets to get some fitness. He passed with flying colours, played well, injury-free, and he'll be in contention to at least get a bench spot next week, if not start. Starting might be a little bit ambitious, but we'll see what the coach thinks. But that was a good return from Braden Hamlin-Welly. As for the game itself, some of the key moments. 13th minute, Ronaldo had a try from a scrum-based move. Nico to Will Kennedy to Ronaldo. Nico missed with his first kick, and we were up 4-0. 16th minute, Will Kennedy with a rare error. He thought it was a 40-20. It wasn't. He still went for it and took the ball out. From there, Michael Cheekham scored a try down our left in the 18th minute. It was a short switch of play down the short side, and on the fifth tackle, they scored with Jesse Ramian and Nicho Hynes being turned inside out. Not in a bad way, just in a way that allowed for a try. 6-4 to Souths. Iro had a nice try-saving tackle in the 28th minute. South's injuries were just piling up. 29th minute, Nicho Hynes with a kick. Ronaldo regains it and offloads to Teague Wilton, who scores a great try. Nicho gets the goal, and we lead 10-6. 34th minute, Toby Rudolph with a nice pass to Cam McInnes for a line break. Trindle then kicks for Ronaldo with a try. 14-6, Nicho with a goal from the sideline. 16-6 at half-time. 45th minute, Trindle with a nice dropout gets us the ball back after having a pretty bad error from his first attempt earlier in the game. So good to see him bounce back there. In the 49th minute, Katoa scores a try with Trindle and a floating cutout ball. Nicho from the sideline gets the goal. We lead 22-6. After a penalty against us in the 56th minute, Tane Milne scores a try down our left. Ronaldo jams in and they score through Trindle. 22 points to 12, Cronulla lead. 66th minute, Trindle with a kick to Ronaldo, who taps it back to Teague Wilton. For his second try, 26 points to 12. Nicho with a goal, 28 to 12. Jack Williams is off the field with a cork thigh. 69th minute, Burgess with a try through the middle after an offload from Havili. McInnes and Brayley could have done better there. Sharks lead 28-18. 71st minute, an amazing line break kick return from Will Kennedy. It looked like he was going to be caught either in goal or 1 metre out, and he ran for half the field with some offloads to other players. Really got us back into the grind. 75th minute, Tass with a try down our right. Katoa with a poor read. It's 28-22 off the back of a penalty again. There's 4 minutes 50 left on the clock. Who do you look to? Blake Island. Blake Brayley with a lovely line break to Sifa, who almost scores. He's short. 78th minute, Hynes kicks and Brayley scores the try, which ultimately gets us across the line. Nicho kicks his fifth goal from 6 attempts, 34-22. Of note, Katoa and Iro are on report. Iro, I'm not really sure what it was for. That'll come through in the morning. Katoa was for his high shot on the South's captain, Cam Murray. And it looked not too bad, but it actually ended up with Murray going off with concussion. So we'll see what happens to Katoa during the week and possibly Iro. So, Sharks with a pretty good win overall. They played with a great energy for most of the night, and that's what it was going to take. And that was one of the things that really impressed me. The goal line defense as well was pretty strong. And some great performances out there. If we go through the players briefly, we'll obviously get very in-depth throughout the week. But looking at the players, Will Kennedy, I thought was pretty strong. Like, it was an error or two in his game, but when it mattered, he was there. He had a line break assist, a try assist, ran for about 100 metres. Sione Katoa and Ronaldo Mulitalo both had great games. Mulitalo was close to man of the match, if not. Katoa scored 1 try, ran for 150 metres with 1 line break. Jesse Ramian, who was penalised for one of the most ridiculous penalties you'll ever see, and you'll be hearing about that throughout the week. He was strong. He ran for 150 metres. Kale Iro was fantastic. At the moment, we have him for about 130 metres. Really strong in defence, and he hangs onto that jumper, and I'd be very interested to see what happens moving forward with that, because every game he plays, if he plays like that, it's going to be harder to take that jumper away. But I thought Kale Iro was fantastic. And Mulitalo, probably man of the match. 2 tries, 120 metres, and a try assist, and a very busy game from him. Another try contribution as well, it should be pointed out. Braden Trindle was fantastic. Probably the more dominant half for us. Some great kicks. He had 3 try assists, which is fantastic. Nicho Hynes, a quieter game as far as stats go, but still a strong game. 2 try assists, 200 kick meters, and just generally busy. And I know people are a little bit into him about his performances this year, but hello, we're coming first, I forgot to say. We're coming first right now, overnight. So I think they're all playing pretty good for a team becoming first. And I think Nicho Hynes will get into the groove more with his stats and that kind of thing. But I think performance-wise, he's doing fine, playing a really physical sort of game. Tall Tom Hazelin ran for over 100 metres and looked strong and solid again. Some near line breaks. Another great game from Blake Brayley. Scored a try, made a line break, ran for almost 50 metres. One was quite a long run, which took up a lot of those metres, but Blake was fantastic. Just really busy, and I hope he just keeps playing that way. Fantastic to see him do that. Oregon Kaufusi, solid, probably not a lot more, but did the hard stuff, ran for about 80 metres when he was on the field. Britton Nickera, great to have him back. His stats look kind of standard for him, but great to have him out there. We looked a lot more solid in defence, and I believe he was playing with an injury, so we'll see how that heals, and I'm sure he'll be right for next week because he's a tough cookie, but I think he was playing with a bit of an injury today. Teague Wilton, fantastic. I love the way this kid is playing. He's solid as, scored 2 tries, ran for about 80 metres, and just looks so good out there. Cam McInnes ran for 140 metres, very busy in the middle of the field, great captain's knock. The bench was a little bit quieter this week, and out of the bench, I thought Toby Rudolph was the best out there. Jack Williams was solid. He had a cork thigh, which limited his time on the field, but when he was out there, he was pretty good and ran for about 80 metres with some just good, solid, hard footy out there. Talakai had a really good first stint. Like, he was looking like he was going to be the best interchange forward ever. He ended up running for about 70 metres, almost scored a try at the end. And I think he's going to be an important part of this squad. I know that maybe Kalero is inching ahead. I'm not sure. I think it's neck and neck, but obviously Euro's staying there. So when I say staying there, he's staying in the fight for that position. So when everyone's fit, it's going to be very interesting to see what the coach does. The good thing for Talakai and for us is he's very versatile. He can almost be that utility for us where he's a middle, he's a second rower, he is a 3/4. So we'll see what happens there with Iro versus Talakai, but it's a healthy place to be. Big Tuku Hatapua didn't get a lot of time, but he looked good with his runs, ran for 40 metres, and he looks solid. I like the looks of him out there. The more he's out there, the better he's going to be. And Toby Rudolph, yeah, great return. Somewhat surprising, but he was back, and he looked good. Looked good with energy and tough footy, and I really like him out there. I think he's having a great season. All round, like it's a positive camp here at SharkCast Pod because A, we won, which is half the battle, and B, I thought we won in a pretty good fashion. I mean, there's things to work on. You know, the attack isn't brilliant at the moment, but they still scored 34 points. And the defense is probably going better than what the 22 points allowed looks, I think. Like, I think some of the tries are just a bit hokey, and it's not necessarily bad defense. It's maybe one-on-one, etc. So overall, I think we're doing well. Obviously, there are players out there that will improve. Nico Hines will improve as we go along, and we're going to get some troops back as the weeks and months go on. And we're coming first. Now, if you told us we were going to come first after 5 games, you'd be pretty stoked. And if you told us the one game we're going to lose is to the West Tigers, you would have said, nah, I don't think so. But we need to move on from that game. And I think tonight we showed that we did because everyone was ready for the ambush. When I say that, I mean a bunch of our listeners and a bunch of Shark fans. Everyone was thinking this is where the Souths are going to lift and ambush Cronulla, and they didn't because Cronulla were ready. Cronulla spoke about it all week. They trained that way. They were worried about themselves. They didn't buy into this whole Souths are going to have to win. They're going to have to turn it around. No, the Sharks were as desperate for different reasons. We want to have a special year, and to have a special year, you need to beat the team coming last, and we did that. And I thought we did it in pretty good fashion. I know some of you think I'm being too positive about this. I'm not saying it was the greatest performance in the world, but I thought it was a good performance. And in your 5th game of the year, in your 4th win with 1 loss, coming first, I don't see that as any negativity. Got to keep improving. Bigger, better teams are coming up in the horizon. Cowboys next week, which is always difficult, and they're a decent team. They lost today, but they're a decent team. More than decent team. Canberra away, Derby Day after that. And then there's a bunch of hard games. So we need to keep winning. But this is a good challenge. Playing away from home. playing in front of a hostile, small but hostile Rabbitohs crowd. There were a lot of Sharks fans out there as well, I might add. Getting the win, which in my opinion was never in doubt, particularly once they ran out in the field. So, pretty good stuff. We'll be back for more episodes throughout the week. We are hoping to... What am I saying hoping? We'll be back on Monday with catching up with Kieran for coffee about Cronulla. We didn't do one last week. That was circumstantial. It was also after the bye, so we let that one go. But we're back. That'll probably be the next episode, and then we'll just keep plugging away. We're doing what we do. We love to talk about the Sharks, and we love the fact that all of you people listen in. You can contribute at SharkCast Pod in the DMs. Follow us, DM us for anything for the show. SharkCastPod@gmail.com for other correspondence, of course, and just keep spreading the word. Keep telling people, your friends, your neighbours, your family, people at the footy especially, do you listen to SharkCast Pod? If they respond negatively, just say, okay, fair enough, walk away. But if they don't know what you're talking about, or if they're interested, show them how to use a podcast app. Show them what to look for. Get them on board, and we'd really appreciate that. We've got a bunch of stuff planned for you for the rest of the year. I say the rest of the year, it's only week 5. It's week 5, round 5, however you want to say it. Round 6, 5 games in, and I think this is our 40th episode, and I'm not blowing trumpets or anything. There's a lot of help I get from people who make this happen, but the most important thing is that you're listening, and we can see that you're listening, and we appreciate it so much. SharkCast Pod, back as soon as we can. Enjoy the win. Let's play the song. Let's go. Up, up.
Sharks forever. Go out and play without fear. Now's the time to see good football, for the Sharks are here. Sharks forever.